An overwhelming amount of research shows that urbanization will be the biggest challenge of the 21st century. This exponentially growing movement towards urbanization presents its fair share of problems, however. Most cities were never designed to accommodate such large numbers of people. In 1800, only 2% of the world's population lived in urban areas. 100 years later, that number had increased to 13%. Currently, 51% of the people on Earth live in urban areas, and by 2050, that number is projected to increase to 70%. While there is an ever-growing need for cities to provide adequate shelter, food, sanitation, and safety for the increasing numbers of inhabitants, very few places have actually implemented policies that address the foreseen demands. Even less do so in a way that addresses integrated and equal livability throughout the city. When the principle of managing urban development in an integrated manner, which among other things encourages the placement of resources within a short, walkable distance of each other, is ignored in the face of increasing city populations, a multitude of problems arise, including racial and economic spatial segregation, the dissolution and fragmentation of services, a lack of economic and social opportunities, and disconnected and divided neighborhoods. In order to thrive, cities must anticipate population changes and place people and livable neighborhoods at the heart of their designs, whilst also harnessing the skills and potential of their inhabitants to sustain inevitable growth. While every city's historical, social, and environmental conditions may differ, the opportunities and challenges created by urbanization are all too familiar. A South African-German collaboration within the field of urban development recognizes these similarities, where the two countries have developed a new way for cities to cooperate and learn from each other regarding the trials of integrated urban development. This collaboration takes the form of a city-to-city peer learning network, the South African-German City Network for Integrated and Livable Neighbourhoods.
The motivation for the whole project is that ultimately neighbourhoods should be livable and integrated, and it should be neighbourhoods and cities that are there for the people.
It exists between 6 highly committed municipalities, Ekurhuleni, Musunduzi and Nelson Mandela Bay in South Africa, and Halle, Ludwigsburg and Munich in Germany. Within the city-to-city network, the tangible close cooperation between South Africa's Ministry of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs and Germany's Federal Ministry of the Interior, Building and Community focuses on providing practical outcomes.
Wir haben mit vielen Projekten, mit vielen Initiativen versucht, zwischen den deutschen Städten dazu zu kommen, dass nicht jeder jeden Tag für sich zu Hause das Rad neu erfindet. Und wenn das für Deutschland stimmt, dann stimmt es mit Sicherheit auch im internationalen Kontext.
The Urban Energies Network takes place in the context of both progress and challenges and emphasizes the point that good planning brings together social, economic and environmental sustainability.
Das, was Johannes Rau so wunderbar mal in einem Zitat ausgedrückt hat, die Kommune ist der Ernstfall der Demokratie. Da entscheidet sich tatsächlich, ob Zusammenleben gelingt, ob friedliches Zusammenleben gelingt. Und diesen Gedanken finde ich genauso in unserem Städtenetzwerk wieder.
In working towards the collaborative goal of generating innovative new ways of thinking about and implementing integrated urban development, each city within the network shares the knowledge and experiences gained from one of their own respective urban development projects, while simultaneously drawing inspiration from the efforts of their peer cities. In this way, each city operates as a living lab.
Also speziell dieses Netzwerk ist für uns eine riesige Chance. Wir haben in diesem Netzwerk sowohl die Regierungsvertreter als auch die kommunalen Vertreter am Tisch.
All of this exposure just gives you insight and perspective. So in that way, it makes what we do so much more informed and so much more relevant.
Und das Verständnis von globalen Tendenzen und Herausforderungen auf lokaler Ebene, das wird auf alle Fälle auf beiden Seiten weiterentwickelt.
The discussions regarding urban development strategies taking place within this network align themselves with the principles of the famous Leipzig Charter and the New Urban Agenda, as well as each country's respective urban policies. In particular, South Africa's Integrated Urban Development Framework and Germany's National Urban Development Policy. At the local or municipal level, these continuous peer-to-peer discussions between city representatives focus on enabling implementation by increasing citizens' civic participation, developing local ownership, leveraging funding and attracting stakeholders, and suggesting ways of using cross-departmental or sectoral management models.
One of the key solutions that the German cities have, for instance, is the people's process. Because I think they've clearly understand that whatever they do, they're actually doing it for the people, and it's the people that are going to occupy that space.
What this exercise does is enable cities to learn from one another on how to translate the objectives of the national urban development policies into practical realities in their areas of jurisdiction.
And our network would certainly argue that these opportunities for municipalities to get together, to share, to reflect, are absolutely essential to municipal performance.
These ongoing conversations take place not only at arranged network meetings and study tours, but online too, encouraging network members to foster camaraderie beyond the confines of the project. This ultimately establishes shared feelings of trust, comfort, and a willingness to discuss all aspects of their city's urban development projects, the good and the bad.
I think the entire exchange program has made us new friends, people that we can work with, interact with at a social level and learn through friendship.
Und ich finde, es muss einfach drin sein, dass so Großstadtverwaltungen mit einem riesigen Erfahrungsschatz auch tatsächlich versuchen, dies in einem Peer-to-Peer-Austausch ganz fokussiert einfach weiterzugeben.
Also der Mehrwert, den gibt es auf mehreren Ebenen. Zum einen natürlich unter den einzelnen Städten, dass man direkt konkret am Projekt was erarbeitet und dort natürlich dann auch sich sozusagen weiterbildet, neue Dinge lernt, um die auch mit nach Hause zu nehmen. Und die zweite Ebene ist natürlich der direkte Austausch mit der jeweiligen Bundesebene, die mit vertreten ist und den unterschiedlichen Ministerien, sodass dort natürlich auch ein Lerneffekt und ein Lernprozess stattfindet.
At a macro level, a knowledge-generating collaboration like this at the municipal level has great potential to transcend the vertical layers of government, since the network is specifically designed to influence national decision-making regarding each country's urban development framework. The ultimate goal of this horizontal network is to implement actionable, ground-up practical methods for creating livable, mixed-use neighbourhoods in both countries, thus realising each country's respective urban policies at the level of local government, while simultaneously channeling all the knowledge and insights gathered into formulating and optimizing future policies and processes.
Das heißt, wir entwickeln sozusagen ein Netzwerk von Experten auf Regierungs- und auf kommunaler Ebene, nicht nur Verwaltung, nicht nur Politik, sondern eben auch zivilgesellschaftliche Organisationen. Und unsere Absicht in Deutschland ist es, ein solches Verfahren, wie wir es mit den USA oder Südafrika machen, in Zukunft vielleicht auch zu verstetigen. Nicht mit diesen Ländern, sondern generell als Institution des Erfahrungsaustausches zwischen Städten und Staaten mit unterschiedlichen Herausforderungen, aber gleichen Zielen.
The project, using the practical information gleaned from the collaboration between Germany and South Africa, aims to strengthen national frameworks, support cities, and develop neighbourhoods where people are the first priority, and where living, working, and playing is natural and easy.